Sasha in the house.
Whoop, whoop. Sasha in the house from Minneapolis, Minnesota, literally in an airport, y'all. So just, enjoy the fact that we do these things where we can from wherever we are. And we're going to start today after I introduce these wonderful folks with some fun facts about where we are and how our computers are propped up. But I'm so honored to have Candice McNaught and Rachel Brown from Supreme Lending. Candice is the Senior Vice President of like everything, sales, marketing, like you name it, she does it. Was also a branch manager herself. So she's got, from the ground up experience, which we're so excited to hear about today. And then Rachel out in Tampa, who is not only a producer herself, but is managing teams and a rising star that is continuing to just make strides both at Supreme, but in our industry. And we're super excited to hear some really great tangible tips from her today as you're thinking about your career and also just managing a team right now in this tough market. So, and of course, Dawn, who will be saving me as I eventually board a flight and will have to disappear. So when you see me disappear, do not take it personal. Do not freak out. I have not been kidnapped. I just have to go.
Yeah, I'm first-time caller, long-time listener.
Love it.
Super happy to have you, Dawn. With that, I think we'll start with me. I'm propped up on a backpack in an airport right now. So that's where I'm coming from. Rachel, you're out in Tampa. Do we have like a normal setup or something fun going on?
This is meant to be like the cutest portion of my office. So I have my day planner and then 2 plastic storage bins so that my fan won't overheat, and trying to look cute with a ring light over here. So no, not
love it. See the things we do, right?
Right.
And Candice, normally I would say you're in Dallas, but you're not. Tell us where you are and how you're propped up today.
Hey, I got a call yesterday afternoon. They said we need you in St. Louis. I took a 7 a.m. flight and I'm sitting up on an ice bucket in my hotel room.
Nice.
Whoop, whoop. I mean, listen, it's what we do, right?
I'm gonna have to change my setup.
I know.
I'm in a nice cushy
Right?
chair in my home office with all my stuff. Man, I'm about to go get a bucket or something to sit on.
For real.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I love that because look, our category or our topic today was like strategies to win no matter where you are in your career. And one of those strategies I think we all know is the ability to pivot no matter what life throws at us. So we are going to get those last minute phone calls. We're going to get the unfortunate plane rides that we can't change, and we make it work. And I think that's a beautiful place to start. With that in mind, speaking of pivoting, Candice, I would love to hear from you on your career path from loan officer to, or I guess branch manager to this corporate role, and then dive in a little bit into what you see in Rachel, because I know you kind of are starting to realize and like look for those blueprints of like who's out there that's really aspiring to continue to move up in their career. So talk to us a little about your journey to get there and then also what you see in Rachel.
Yeah, thank you, Sasha. And thank you, Dawn, for inviting me. This is really an honor. So I just want to thank you guys both. So actually, the very first day of me in the mortgage business was on September the 2nd of 2008. Okay, just do the math.
Good time.
I was like, and I came from the medical field. I was like, what the hell is going on around me? Why is everyone freaking out? And they were like, just sit there, just listen and don't pay attention. It's all going to be okay. And I'm like, but is it really? And I was hired as a director of marketing for a large producer in Dallas. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to sit back and take notes. And I did. And I got to tell you, I weathered so many storms. And as a director of marketing, you obviously kind of go through those storms thinking, am I going to be the person eliminated, right? Is marketing really a necessity at this time? Because while it's my job to bring in leads and revenue, I'm not a revenue producer. So then I was like, you know what, maybe I should go and get my license because I don't want to be a statistic. I want to be a valuable asset to the company. I want to be able to pivot and do right when they need to plug me in. And I want to learn and soak up as much as I can. And so then I learned how to process loans because again, when we went into a refi boom, I was like, maybe they need to put me in, coach. You know, I can process a loan. And then that way I can learn the back end of it and I can learn about pricing and all this other fun stuff. And then fast forward 11 years later, I'm still at the same mortgage company, which is Supreme Lending. And they offered me a position to come in and run operations. And I was like, really? And I learned how to run a P&L, and I learned about the finance side of the house, and I was running sales and marketing and ops at that time. And it every day I was just digging my heels in. And I think that was just because I allowed myself to be so flexible in learning every aspect of the business. I didn't want to find myself in a vulnerable state where I had to say, I don't know how to do that. I want to be a team player. And I'm so grateful that I challenged myself to do it, because it's where I am today. And, and after that, after 14 years in the same company, I was offered a position to come in and run sales on a national level and oversee branch finance and marketing. And I think it's because I love working with folks, because sometimes it's new people that are coming into the business. I want to grow young. That is my biggest and largest passion in my role. One thing I like to say is I don't necessarily mentor people. I think interns coming out of college need mentorship. I like to sponsor people, because sometimes you might be in your 30s or your 40s. You don't need a mentor. Like, you already know how to live your life. You need someone to sponsor you, someone to walk side by side with you every day, be there through the goods and the bads, coach you, be coachable. And I was in Tampa in my new role. I had just been in this role for 4 months, and I was in Tampa, and we were onboarding this large group. And someone said, I want you to meet this recruit. She's dynamic, but I got to see if she'll commit to coming in. And I was like, okay, well, what's her name? And they said, oh, it's Rachel Brown. And I was like, okay, I'd love to meet her. And so I'm sitting in the lobby on the morning of, she's committed to coming in. And Rachel was at a big player. She had been in the business for a while. And they said, she's not going to be easy to recruit. Like, she's confident. She's got a great book of business. She's happy where she is. There's no reasons that she needs to move. And I was like, all right, just want to meet her. And I met this lovely lady in the lobby of a hotel, and we had coffee, and we spent about 2 hours together. And at that time, the timing just wasn't right. And I said, but it's okay. Like, this is a walk. This is a journey. This is not something I expect you to do today. But what I saw in Rachel when I left was, I was like, oh my gosh, like, that was me. That was me 5 years ago. And her desire to want to grow, and not even just grow in the mortgage business, but to help people, and then to help women specifically. And then what I saw she was doing in her community, I was like, she's got the touch. Like, she has it. She could flourish no matter if she stays in the mortgage business or not. But man, to serve both sides, it's really dynamic. And fast forward 6 months later, roughly, Rachel, I would text her randomly, hey, just thinking about you. Hope you're doing well. If you're in Dallas, let me know. And then 6 months later, I had the honor of this fabulous woman to join our company as not even just a loan officer, not even as a branch manager, but now she's a producing area sales manager. And Rachel, you closed just by yourself, almost 6.5 million a couple of months ago. And you just continue to, in this environment, some of the hardest times that we've ever experienced, you just continue to thrive. And you were just the perfect person for this segment. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm so flattered. That was like, I could never do an introduction of myself that good. So thank you, Candice. We'll be traveling together everywhere. So
Yeah.
That's good. I feel like I need an Oscar to present to you now.
I
Right?
love
It's like,
it. I'll take it. I'll get one of my awards from back here.
Don's got one back
Perfect.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'll
Yeah,
find one back
We
here.
got some giveaways.
I love
You know,
it.
I love all those. Before we dive in with you, Rachel, because I know you are newer in this role, and you've already, to Candice's point, made extreme strides, not just for yourself as a producer, but for your team, for your community. But before we go there, like, Candice, the things that you said, there was like so many golden nuggets. I couldn't write them down fast enough. But when you think about being successful, regardless if you are a loan officer, a processor, in a management role, in a corporate leadership role, it was the do whatever it takes, right? Be able to be in a position where you've done the work and you can say, put me in, coach, right? And being able to raise your hand and say, I want to be put in. I heard being flexible, digging in, being a team player, and challenging yourself. And I'm going to guess that, Rachel, you've done all those things. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting where you are. But I love all those tips because I think those are good for people that are out there that, you know, really want to take their career to the next level. So thank you for that wisdom. Rachel, talk to us about what it's been like in this new role and what you've had to figure out along the way that's helped you be successful, not just for your own individual success, but for your team too.
Right. You know, when we talk about being open to opportunities and just kind of going all in, I feel like when I look back on it, it was never intentional exactly, right? Like I never like woke up and I'm like, I'm just going to do whatever. But I had this open mindset that, hey, this is exciting. This is challenging. I started my career as an assistant, first in real estate. Then I moved to Florida and became a loan officer assistant. And I started seeing the process. I started seeing the amount of volume that one person could do if you just really showed up and you, to Candice's point, knew the process. And I think in leadership, that is so huge because had I not been for some amount of time, you know, as a licensed loan officer assistant at one point to 8 different people, right? And I'm taking the good, the bad anyway, but I'm doing it from start to finish. And I could see, yeah, I could really do this, right? So the decision to come to Supreme, I was hesitant at first, right? Like we all are. We all try to play coy and, oh, I'm fine where I am and I don't need anything. And what I started realizing at this big box kind of place where I was that the humanity aspect, the sponsorship aspect, the people that say, hey, I've done this, you can do this, I believe in you, great job, that was totally going away. And I have worked incredibly hard, and I still every day work incredibly hard to have a team around me who cares as much as I do. And if you're at a company that doesn't align with those same values, right? It's just sales, sales, sales. What's your volume? What's your desk? Oh, anybody can support you. Anybody can be a processor. Anybody can be your sales assistant. Absolutely untrue. And what was the deciding factor is that the more I thought about it or the more I saw, I was offered a position, not, oh, in leadership or to be the sales manager, to be this extraordinaire, it was, hey, we'll give you the support with a human, right, that we know that you need to achieve this. So I probably strayed from the original question, but to me, what I am learning about leadership and what I am learning about myself in this business is that you can grow in many different ways. But when you grow with structure and support and get away from the reactivity, right? What's in my inbox? What realtor needs me right this second, right? You can support yourself and kind of put the control freak to the back and let your calm self lead and grow.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm going to jump in on this, Sasha, real quick, because
please, Dawn. Yeah.
Just because it excites me to hear something that can be unique, because everybody talks about how hard they work and how they grind to produce. But you are right. Both of you are so astute in why you work together. And I could see the mentorship / sponsorship is working because Candice and Rachel speak the same language, meaning it's imperative of who you surround yourself around. A lot of people think you can do it on your own or you can just work harder. But I just wrote down a good quote recently, and a lot of you on this call, and I'd love you guys to react, by the way, to some of these great comments from Candice and Rachel and Sasha, because that makes the call more exciting and fun. But some people say that, what is work? But work is what moves you towards your goals based on results, not effort. And I love that, because everything's you can just outwork everybody, but if you don't work smart and you don't work with the right team, and Sasha knows it's my ballywick is our team, who I work with. I was just talking to a recruit, and 12 years ago, I left the company I was with to do something different. And Candice, you've done the same thing, because you've learned from the trenches what works and what doesn't work. And Rachel, you as being a producer is working with the right people. So I literally left the company. I'm like, I'm leaving and going to this new company that's going to give me autonomy to do what I want to do. And it's going to be working with only the right people. And that is the people on our team and the people we work with as partners and clients, because we all can get burned out. And the reason I'm bringing this up for all of you on the call is it's tough right now. And it's challenging working with the wrong people, and it can burn you out and make you not like your job. But when you focus on working with the right people and surrounding yourself with the right people, it changes your world. I mean, it really does. I mean, I literally left my old company with a fish tank in my hand. Again, Jerry Maguire moment going, who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? And Gino laughed. He was on the call, and some of my team members are on the call, like, we know this story. But literally, I left with a fish tank saying, who's coming with me? And it was 5 of us in an office the size of I'm sitting in now. And we started fresh. And now I'm super proud of, and I'm not buttering up my team that's on the call, but we have the best people, plain and simple. And I could tell that how important that is for you, Candice, and you, Rachel, on having that support so you can do what you're best at. And I love hearing that, because that's a success model right now. Everybody's trying to figure out how to get by right now. And a lot of our team, our competitors are leaving because they don't have that. They're just grinding, and grinding right now. There it is.
I love it.
That was so me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
And luckily
God.
Gino came with me. Now he's my business partner. But I love hearing that, because we need to hear what's working from you both. You're successful. Not everybody is right now. They're challenged. They're thinking about getting out of the industry, or they hate their job, or they don't like the people they're working with, whatever the case may be. Candice and Rachel, you both have figured out solutions. And that's what our jobs are, is to come up with solutions for not just our clients, but also our teammates. And you guys are doing that. So kudos to you, because hopefully you on the call are listening about that it's important to realize the value of who you work with and working together as a team. That you'll kill anybody. No one can compete with that, in my eyes. And Candice, I'd love to hear your input on that, because that's what you are as a sales leader.
Yeah, thank you. There's a motto that I've had since I've been in this business, and I wrote it down, and it was probably like the first year that I got into the industry, and it was nothing changes if nothing changes. And it's something that's just always stuck with me. It's a really powerful quote. It's been around for a long time, but think about it. If you don't want anything to change and you want the same result, then don't change anything. But if you don't change it, nothing's going to change. And I think too, it's really important also that I try to encourage my friends that have been in the mortgage business as a whole. You don't just have to be a loan officer to become a leader in this industry. Take your wealth of knowledge as a processor, as an underwriter, as a closer and funder. You have the ability to become a leader. I work with some of the best leaders in our organization that they have experience that I don't have experience in. I've never been an underwriter. I don't know much about secondary and cap markets. I know enough to be dangerous, but I don't understand it all. And so I want to encourage people, be unique in who you are, follow the path that you have a passion for. And some will say, I'm not great at numbers. Well, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you won't thrive in this mortgage business. You have opportunities to become a leader. You don't have to be an LO to do it. If you are an LO, it can lead you to other opportunities to become an underwriter and to, be an SVP of operations or a director of operations. I love also, I'm very much of a flat org type individual. I don't like verticals. I don't like downlines. I don't even like titles. One thing I tell my kids, that when I die someday, you're not going to put my title on my tombstone. I want you to say, she was a loving mother and she was present. It doesn't matter what my title is. And so, and I hope Rachel can attest to this. I am who I am. What you see is what you get. I don't walk around, I don't bang my chest. I'm like, oh, I'm the SVP of National Sales. Nobody gives a shit. I mean, sorry, but they just don't. I mean, listen, I do this because I love it and I'm passionate about it. But, you know, stay true to who you are, and good things and good results will come to follow.
Oof, how do you follow that one up? I mean, amen, right?
Yeah, more
I,
hearts on
I
that
will,
one.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, give me some more hearts. I will say, told you I was earlier. I was at Total Expert this week, and the last panel today was so powerful. And Steve Majerus talked about there was a pivotal moment for them as a leadership team, realizing we're being fear-based, right? And I'm hearing the synergy of the two, right? Candice being in that leadership role, really focused on culture. And then Rachel, you talked about, you just can't be reactive, you know, especially whether you're an individual contributor, a manager, a leader, like you've got to be able to manage your time better and not constantly be responding to those urgent fires, but you also have to eventually, you know, manage your workload. And I think, you know, at a base level, not being fear-based helps you get towards that in a more methodical manner. But also, I know you've got tips and tricks that you've been working on, Rachel, on how to use just enough structure while still being nimble. And I'd love for you to share those with the group, because I think people would really, really value that wisdom.
Yeah, totally. Like with anything, I've stolen all these tips and tricks from other people who have done it at higher levels and for longer, right? I will say, I love that you said structure. As I was preparing today and just, you know, thinking on some things, I remembered that my word of the year was structure, right? And what's funny is that I've been so hyper focused on doing just that, that I kind of forgot that that was like, okay, this is my word for the year. And then now I'm really, really putting it into play. So just for a little perspective, you know, currently year to date, I've closed just under 20 million. So we finished out, June was pretty good, right? We're right at that 20 million mark. And the thing, and I, in my head, immediately my self-doubt goes, well, someone's produced 50 million and someone's produced 150 million, blah, 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 right? But 20 million for me is fantastic in this market, right? With like all the things that we're up against. And you can do that in a way of just catching, right? And that has, quite honestly, through my career, that's all I really knew to do, and it served me well. I got the volume, I got the titles, I got the yada yada. What I am doing now, and this is through, just shout out to Go Coaching. I just signed up with them. It's been an incredible resource. Don't know if we're supposed to do that, not a promo. But what's so unique and cool about it, and crazy that that at this point in my career, it's the first time I'm really getting this, is that I now have this kind of perfect week at a glance, right? And it's, of course, we know, make your sales call your realtors, go out to coffee with them, yada, yada. And I do that, and I have these lovely conversations with agents or referral partners, and we have these great times. But then I'm not like closing it. I'm not like keeping it tight, right? Like it goes on. I have this 2.5 hour lunch, which is great, but like, what did we really talk about? And I'm very, very relationship based, but I guess I say this, I am being focused and I'm practicing scripts again, right? And it's not in a script of, well, how many leads can I count on from you this month? It is, hey, I really see a synergy here, only if you do, right? I don't want to work with everyone. I don't want to catch everything. I don't want to do it all. I'm tired. We're all tired, right? So, but to have this in my mind saying like, hey, I really think that we can do great things together, and I'm only looking for a handful more of referral partners. What do you think about that? Right? This is what I do. This is my process. What is the game changer is that I now have structure for my team, right? That on Mondays, my kind of, you know, my sales assistant, if you will, She has people on our client list that she's touching. Hey, I know you guys were shopping this weekend. How did it go? Right? Because we get into Mondays and whatever's in our inbox gets our attention. So, but she knows, instead of, hey, I'll just show up and kind of catch whatever Rachel's throwing around, right? It is, I know from 9 to 11, I'm going to monitor her inbox. I'm going to touch these people. And then at that time, we can go to the next thing. The fact of the matter is, as a mortgage lender, we are taught to sell, and we are taught to know guidelines, and we are taught to put ourselves out there, but we are not really taught structure. And do this on Monday and call listing agents every single Tuesday, call your pre-approved buyers and their agents every single Wednesday. On Thursday, call your past clients. On Fridays, I don't know, leave at noon, right? If you're there. Sorry, you know, I'm a decade in now, so I will digress, but it's the structure of it. When I step back and do the things that I love, which are relationship building, which are, you know, speaking opportunities, which are things like that, I then empower my team to do what they do so well without me going, hey, what's going on with this file? Hey, did you check in with the underwriter? Do you think it's going to be clear to close? Well, nobody needs that. Go do it. Go bring us in some sales. Okay, I'll digress for real this time.
That
No,
was
it's
awesome,
perfect.
by
And I
the
love,
way.
yeah, your enthusiasm and passion, but also the ability to articulate it is perfect. But I
And
do
I love
think
the
some
technical
people,
term, yada yada.
Yada yada.
Very technical
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
term.
great.
I'm
We have
pretty
the
fancy. Yeah.
And
best
it's
terms.
and thank you for sharing what's helping you become more consistent, because the problem with our industry right now, because you have to work on 100 deals to close 50, it's a different industry right now. I don't know about your market, but I know in ours that's a hard thing. You know, everybody's like, wow, I work on those deals, and because the property issue or this issue or whatever, they almost look for an issue. But you have consistency, and you're the second person from your company that does it very similarly. That was a speaker at Momentum Builder and has the same direct, you know, structure. And I'm finding, even with, yep, some of you are on my call here, that it's not consistent. And the consistency is key, because yes, we tend to become firefighters, and we think as if we're the best firefighter, we win. But then you're not selling, you're not prospecting, you're not growing, and you're not consistently communicating, because the biggest, what's the number one thing you ever hear, Candice, you'll know this answer. Number one complaint you'll hear from a real estate agent. What's the number one complaint?
Oh, that we're not giving them enough business.
That's a good one. Obviously,
Oh, is that
that's
not the
true.
right answer?
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's
Yeah.
why I like these calls. That's why they're open for them, and they're
Yeah.
not set up.
Where
No,
are the leads? What do you have for me?
that's a good one, because if we could provide leads, that'd be great. But the other one is my I can't get a hold of my LO. They don't return my call.
Oh,
They don't get back.
No
Yeah.
They're horrible at
communication.
that.
Yeah.
Whereas you have
Yeah.
a system in place to handle that. Like, you're being proactive versus reactive. And that's what my point is I love, Rachel, what you're sharing. And, you know, Christy Solar is the same way from I mean, she's a machine. And I've had her on the call because she goes, it's not rocket science. Here's what I do on Monday. Here's what I do on Tuesday. Here, and she works Monday through Thursday and leaves Friday for other things. And I know her system because it's consistent. And I showed it to my team, and like, it's really not that hard. No, she just is consistent. And, you know, you can go from somebody, and then you go to somebody, and we all know the name Shant Benosian, who I've gotten to know pretty well, who's going to be speaking at Momentum Builder, because what I was nice is he spoke at Mastermind, and it was that you wait for this guy to come out with a silver cape and a big S on his chest, and he's a real dude. Like, I'm like, oh my God, he's no different than the four of us on this call. And all he says is he's a machine. He's consistent at what he does, and his team does daily. He does not waste any time with BS. His systems are in place, and he closed 162 loans last month for 110 million. So
Wow.
anybody that's like, I'm buried with 4, you're like, really? And I'll take 4 right now in this industry a month. But It's consistency, and that's really hard to do because we do become reactive. So thank you for sharing that, Rachel, because I hope, those that are on this call, and we're going to share this, by the way, we're going to push this out because it's great content, because we're all looking for how do you be successful in this market, not 2021. 2021, you just had to breathe and you killed it. Now you have to have systems in place and be proactive. And Candice, to what you said, is also help our real estate professionals create business. They're hurting too. You can't just take, oh, you're out of here, Sasha?
I didn't want to interrupt your flow, but I'm like, I don't want to just be like, bye. So bye.
Sasha ghosted us.
You got it. All right. See ya.
Thank you,
Sasha. Love you. You're the bomb.
I love you.
That's
guys.
a dynamic woman right there. That's where she's a chief momentum builder right there. Love you, Sasha. She's everywhere.
Love you guys.
All right. We'll miss you. So. But anyways, I just wanted to touch on, because our goal with these calls is to kind of give everybody these pearls that are helping those that are going to get the other side of this. And Rachel, you seem very confident in your systems and what's working and how it's working. So you're like ready to go to work every day. It's not like, damn, that was a rough day. Well, we still made our calls. We still updated our clients. We still did what was required to do to keep you consistent. And that's how you make money in this industry. The ups and downs kill us, kills everybody. I was a top producer. I know how it works. And nothing's worse than I had 10, I had 2, I had 8, I had 1. Those are awful. So anybody on the call, give me a thumbs up if you agree that we all should have systems in place that are non-negotiables. Come on, there should be at least 29, 30, thumbs up. So thank you for sharing that, you two. Thank you, Rachel. That was really good. I'm glad that Candice brought you on, because we do love hearing from also leaders of how they get people to become better and how a good leader does it, which is Candice. And then bringing on you, Rachel, is like, here's somebody who implements it. So kudos to you too.
Thank you. Yeah, Dawn, I want to piggyback on that, because one thing that we've really focused on this year is best practices. As a leader, I've tried to align advisory groups where we bring people in the organization that are either large cap and mid cap, right? Your large cap or your divisionals, maybe the ones that are not producing, but they're leading, they're in the trenches every day, and they're leading large size groups. It's hard. You're trying to retain your people. You're trying to make sure that you're pushing products, and you're doing everything from start to finish. You're working and grinding harder than you ever have. And then you've got your mid cap. And your mid cap are your ones that are still trying to lead a region, but then they're also still trying to produce at the same time, because they feel like that they need to just sustain the P&L, and they feel like that they need to be relevant to their loan officers, and that, hey, I got you. I understand what you're feeling, because I'm feeling it too. And best practices has probably been one of the best things that we've been able to strive and thrive on over the last 18 months. And it's bringing our groups together and letting them know, hey, we're not competition. We're not competing against one another. We're here to help each other. I look at lock reports, once a week, and I'm looking at the top number, rated locks for that week. So that way I can call other people in other markets and go, hey, did you know that this week we've locked more loans on this product? Have you looked at this? Have you looked at the guidelines? Have you looked to see if it's a good fit for you in your territory? And it's secrets, right? Because we all know at the end of the day, that one loan can save someone's life. It can make their mortgage payment. It can feed their family. It can also help them hit a benchmark that they need to get to the next level. It could save their job. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all in it by one loan a day. And so we have this pressure of, I need to do this. I was talking to a recruit the other day, and they said, what do you consider as a good loan officer? And I said, oh, if you can close 2 to 3 loans a month, you're a good loan officer. And he goes, what? And I go, oh, hands down. I go, now, 2 or 3 years ago, I would hope you were closing 7 loans a month, because you would be a good loan officer. But today, in my opinion, 2.5 a month is a good loan officer, because it's hard. And then you go to 5, you're great. You're great. And you should be really proud of yourself, because to close 5, you have to get about 25 leads. The capture and conversion is compressed. It's hard. It's like you have someone said to me the other day, he goes, it's like 8 seagulls on a French fry. I just died laughing. I was like, that is the best analogy I've heard, because you're so
I'm gonna
right.
steal that. That's so good.
Yes, 8 seagulls on a French fry. And so just, right now, just be relevant to your partners, even your agents in the time of need. We've got a massive law that's about to pass August the 10th for the NARS lawsuit. And this is the time that you need to be reaching out to your agents and saying, what can I do to help you? How can I be a better partner? Do you need a friend? Do you need some coaching? Do you need some education? What are you seeing? And it shouldn't be, hey, what's in it for me? Because I feel like that there are times in our industry when we were going through Dodd-Frank changes, we've had to conform and we had to go through massive changes in our industry, but the real estate side's never experienced anything like this. So I encourage you to be there for your friends and your partners that have been doing this for a long time, and just be that person, that can make a difference.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, I think that's more important than ever. Like you said, you got to be there and help your partners out. They're struggling as much, if not more, in a lot of markets. I know our real estate agents are. So I know our team, and I'm sharing this so everybody else can kind of piggyback on it, because it's gaining, for lack of a better term, momentum, because we've been working really hard to add value, whether it's lunch and learns or bringing in motivators or speakers or educators or whatever on a regular basis, because they need it and they want it more than you think they do. And it's helping our team, of course, because we're giving first and then earning their business because we're helping them improve their lives and their business. And our last 2 events we had in our area, give you some idea, just so you know, when people go, oh, they don't want that, they don't have the time, they're not going to go. Well, it started with 25 people at an event, 50 at an event, and 75. Our last 2 months, the last 2 events had 225 agents at it. So
amazing.
And the reason I bring that up is because they're hungry. They're hungry. They want education, and we're bringing education to them. And then it's given us the opportunity to say, because you see we're committed to you as well as our partners, can we earn your business? It allows you to ask for the business, and we all need it, all the business we can. So including my team that's on here, you guys better ask for that business. We're earning it.
Totally.
So Candice, what's working for you to, I know you have structure and consistency. If you can give some tips on what's helping you. One, you seem very less stressed than most, which is huge right now. It's hard. It's a hard industry right now. You seem like, I'm good. I could do better, but I'm good. Is it your systems? Is it you have any strategies that you could share that's helping you that others can, because we're all working together. We want the good ones to survive. Yes. Do we want the opposers and the order takers? They can go, please. This is the good thing about this market, is we're going to get rid of them because they just confuse our industry, because I don't want them on the other side of the phone, because they're going to tell them bullshit. Sorry for, it's a technical term. They're going to give them bad advice. They're going to lie. They're going to cheat. We don't want them in our industry. They need to go. I'm serious. But those are professionals that really care about their clients and want to do good for them and their partners. And collectively we can survive, and there's plenty of business for those of us that are good. The others can go. So what's working for you right now, Rachel, for you and your team?
Is that one for me?
Oh, you want Rachel?
Rachel. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
She's in the trenches producing.
She is.
So, I'll give just a real thing. I started doing this, I guess, at the beginning of the year. And it seems simple enough, but when we talk about the retention, right? We get 25 leads and we close 5. I've noticed this year after year that my conversion rate from leads received, right? And that's everything from, hey, I gave this person your number, they may reach out, to a very strong, hey, we're having a real conversation. But my leads to application taken was always like 50%, right? Across the board, 50%, which is good, right? But then you go into the closed ratio. I bet you any man on this call would
take that right now.
Well, and you go to the closed ratio, right? Then that dwindles down even more. So I'm like, how do we retain, right? So what I've started doing, and it's simple enough, but I am telling you, the rate shopping aspect, I'm not trying to jinx it, universe, I'm not trying to jinx this, but my rate shopping ratio has gone down so substantially
It's
is
huge.
that I have a client conversation, right? Hey, let's block out 10, 15 minutes. I just want to learn about your goals, tell you a little bit about the process, right? So I have this conversation and I can go into more detail. I'm sure the people that are on this call know, right? Know what to say and kind of talk through that. Then
Some.
once the application is completed, then I'm setting up a 30 to 45 minute Zoom call with every single client that'll have me, right? And back to the structure, I do it in the afternoons, right? I have from 2:30 to 5:30 every day except Tuesday and Friday available for Zoom consults. And I am doing this one-on-one and I'm talking through the closing costs. I'm talking through their monthly payment. I'm talking through, and when I go through it, and I think I found it was such a lack in this industry of people being like, oh yeah, your closing costs are standard about 3 to 4%. And I'm sure that works for Shant. You know what I mean? Because he's got 165 closings and but he's probably got a loan partner
Oh, I
explaining all of
guarantee
this.
he's
You
got
know
a
what I
system in
mean?
place to where he doesn't lose half his people.
Right. And so what I do is I say, like, okay, I want to talk you through this estimate because every time while you're shopping and before you put an offer on a home, I will always send you an estimate before you do that, right? Period. Because the thing I do not like the most is getting these panicked calls after we're under contract. And I can say confidently that it is very, very rare that I ever have a client that goes, well, what do you mean on this number? Or what was this? I overestimate, right? When I'm having this consultation with them, I'm overestimating on the rate. And if they're freaking out about the rate, then I know, hey, this person's probably going to be a rate shopper. Let me just know that, right? But when I say, okay, here's a rough worst case, it's my goal that once you find the home, this rate is a little better. Everything starts to come down from here. So I am taking 30 to 40 minutes, talking them through. This is the part of the loan that I control: points, application fee, appraisal. And you know what? I don't even really control that, right? Here's what the state of Florida charges. Here's what the title company charges. Here's what escrows are. Here's what your taxes are now, what they'll be next year. Here's your rough worst case out of pocket. How does this number make you feel? Here's your monthly payment. How does this number make you feel? And they say, I hate it, I love it, about what I expected. Wow, I had no idea. And then it allows me, because I really do care. Like, I really do care for so many reasons, mostly because I want them to be happy. And I tell them that we are talking about, I always, kind of like horny or whatever, but I'll go like, if I'm ever going to make you sweat, it's going to be now on this call and not when you've fallen in love with a home. Right? So that I have noticed my conversion rate getting better and better. And then when they go under contract, I send them their next steps. I send them their numbers. They sign the disclosures. They go, oh, okay. So we're not starting with numbers when they're in love with a house. Let's treat them and then follow up with them while they're shopping.
Heaven
I
forbid.
mean, how amazing is that?
All right. Yeah. I want to see more reactions because there is like, and you can give me the O face if you think that's not obtainable. I mean, come on. I mean, every one of you can do this. And I love you addressing this, Rachel, because someone's going to look at that and go, wow, that's a good hour and a half out of my time that, I can't be spending on somewhere else. But then again, their capture ratios or their shopping ratios, meaning people shopping them, and which is the worst thing. If you don't address it, you think you can hide behind the scenes. Nothing's worse than at the end that they shopped you and you lost the loan, a week or two before it closed. There's nothing more frustrating than that. So I love that you address things up front and because they're going to want to know what the rate is. They want to know what their costs are, but you're addressing it and you're doing it without fear. The ones that hide it, almost the client has to, and I'm sure Candice, you'll agree with this, is they're going to be like, what are they trying to hide? Why didn't they go through that in detail? Why not just address it? Because you can easily show an MBS chart and go, yeah, you can get any quote you want today. Let me show you the charts. And it's like this. It's inconsistent. Today doesn't matter. I'm going to give you a roundabout idea. The goal is for you to get your home, right? I'm the best at helping you get that home. I'm going to best at helping you get your offer accepted. This is what the ultimate goal is. An eighth here or there can change why we're talking. Don't stress over the rate. I am competitive. That's why I've been in the industry a long time, why our company's been in for a long time. Let's go over the numbers so you completely understand it and be completely prepared to take action on the home of your dreams. I love that. Really good, Rachel. That's awesome. And yeah, I want more thumbs up if you like that. It's a good strategy, right? Right, gang? Very cool. All right. So Candice, you have any pros that's working for your team right now? I mean, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule because you lead, all of a big company. I know the company well. I know Scott, I know the crew, still talk to Noah. Chris, a big fan of Christy. She's like, one of our trainers now for Momentum, but she's such a giver. You lead in such a good way, Candice, because I've seen it through your people. So kudos to you. That's huge.
Thank you.
I know the company we chose to be with, great leaders, and it starts with great leadership, and you're creating other leaders. Like what's nice, Rachel, you're not a producer, you're a leader. You lead. If it's not others, it's also your business. Everybody's got to realize that we're all leaders, whether it's of other people or of our own business and our partners. And people don't look at it as a business. They look at it. I mean, I love this saying when somebody just quit recently and they're like, I may have to go find a real job. Well, there's your first problem.
Yeah.
This Rachel,
real
would you call this a real
for
job?
me. Yeah, I'm
All day,
good
every
on
day?
the realness. Yeah.
Yeah. You're
And
like,
into the night.
like I joke, I go like, Gina and I work, a good day is we work half day and like, must be nice. I'm like, yeah, that's 12 hours. That's a good day.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. That's good.
Okay, I'm going to write that one down.
Right? Because we're all working literally a 12-hour day. I'm like, piece of cake. No problem, man. I mean, I got that. It's the 16-hour days. You're like, okay, now I'm a little burnt. And you can't do that every day. So create systems so you don't have to be reactive is one thing I took from this call. Everybody should just create whatever that system is, and it has to be non-negotiable. All salespeople are ADD. I know I hear that all the time. I'm ADD. You don't understand that. We're all ADD. That's why we're in sales. Sorry, we that's what we love. And that's why none of the salespeople are on ops because they can't focus.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Candice, you do the tests and everything. You're like, okay, we have to get C's in ops, because
the disc test. Yes.
Disc test.
The
Thank you.
D's go over here. The
Exactly.
I's go over here.
The D's and I's are here. Yes. And the S and C's are here. And it plays out. I can't
Very
take
well.
a C and an S and create a salesperson out of them. It never works.
Nope.
And vice versa. So it's creating the right mix and stuff. So anything else you'd like to share?
I just want to tell you something. This is funny. Every time someone comes into my office and, it might just be a good day, bad day, whatever, and they just seem like they're just a little lost. There's a book, and this is not a plug. There's a book out there and it's called The Road Back to You. And it's the Enneagram and it's the 9 personality types. And I really encourage people to read that right now, because through leadership and just through your customer, so if you're on leadership side or the LO side, you need to know what your number is. I am a number 3. This is actually an exercise that I've done internally. So I know what Scott's number is. I know what our COO's number is, because it's important in how we communicate to each other, right? He might say something to me, but rather than me taking it personal, that's just who he is. And I know what his number is. And it was a sign of him trying to help mentor me or sponsor me rather than being critical or having constructive criticism. So in leadership, just make sure that you're working for an organization that supports your leadership, that they allow you to run in your own channel. There's a quote in the Shoe Dog book that says, can you accept 98% and forget about the 2%? No one is perfect. Always empower your people, and let them know that that other 2% doesn't really matter, because it could really change their life to think, wow, I brought something really good to the table. And that's the organization that I'm in today. And I'm really grateful for it. And then on the LO side, it's important to know your Enneagram too, because you need to understand your customer. And one thing I always taught my LOs was, don't talk numbers first. Get to know your borrower. Ask some questions. Have you ever owned a home before? Where do you live? What do you do for a living? Don't just hit them out and go, how much money do you have? What's your down payment? Oh, how much money do you make a month? And then the conversation just dies within 5 minutes, and you don't feel like that you've built a bond. So again, know your number, read the book, Road Back to You. It's really, really great. And then I just like to leave today with, always to know that your direction is more important than speed.
I love that.
It took me 15 years to get where I am today. Direction is more important than speed. And don't fight it. Don't force it. Let it come natural. People will recognize and see in you when you're ready. It's a sign of them trusting you, because they don't want you to fail. And so that's just, I wanted to end with that tidbit.
Beautiful quotes. Well done. Well done. I love that.
Thank you.
I just you hear all the time with good salespeople. It's really, your value is the questions you ask. It really is. A lot of people think it's what you sell, but if you ask the right questions, you don't have to sell. You just give them solutions for their questions. So great stuff. I love that. And I'm a bookaholic, so I will be going back, because I have to revisit that, because we were very hard in the disc and all that, and it helps, because me knowing, as you can tell, I know, a Scott is a D, but you got to know which personality you're dealing with and how to react to them and not take it personal, because I have some DLOs and high ILOs, and and they're completely different. And Rachel, any closing comments?
Kind of in the same line. I always just like to give a shout out. Like we focus, we want to know our clients and we want to know our agent partners. And the only way I've been able to do that is by really knowing myself. And so I'm just a big advocate. This business, you can be, especially in the day-to-day production, you're closing 2 loans a month, you're closing 25 loans a month, whatever. Your internal value can become very easily tied to your sales. And I am sitting here a decade in, still reminding myself that whether I'm closing 6 million a month or 2 million a month or whatever, right there, if I'm putting in the effort, it's not because I'm a bad person, or I can't beat myself up, or I can't then take my energy from my family because my numbers are down. And so I've been in counseling for the last 8 years, right? It's 2 hours out of my month, right? I go bi-weekly. It is that time that I am investing only in myself. I have 2 different types of coaching. I am, like Candice and I we had some things going on kind of in our region. And I'm like, Candice, I just need to talk to you. Like, I'm just feeling like I just need you, right? So I am vocal about those things. We all feel that. Your value is not your numbers. Your value is you. So invest in yourself first, because when your cup is full, you can give to others. Right. So I'm not in this just like, oh, I woke up like this. Nah, dog. Like I'm in all the things. Right. So take care of yourself. Yeah. Take care of yourself.
Great message. You both are so much deeper than just being in the industry to produce. You both can tell, I can tell, because I do a lot of these interviews with you, you both are givers, And that's why you get what you get, because you're good people and you're good professionals, and you're always leaning in to improve, which is why we do these calls, is so we can all improve, you know? So thank you both for taking time out of
Thank
your
you.
busy schedules and sharing, and we'll share this with others. We'd love you to be part of our Momentum Builder community. We're just building out now. We did the event, we have our app and all that, which we'll share, but we're also building out our Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And we'd love you guys to be part of that so that we have more people that are engaging and sharing best practices. We got to stick together, and doing this on your own. Nobody wants to do this by themselves right now. You need to be part of something. You need to find out what others are doing. You need to communicate with others. So we'd love you to be part of our Momentum Builder community. We're agnostic. We don't sell.
Of
We just
course.
help. That's all we are. So become part of it. It's a great community, and we appreciate both of you being part of our community. There you go. So you can join our Facebook group just like that. Anybody on the call, please join it. We're gonna blow it up. We got more new events. We got new announcements coming up. And what we do is we find the best people, the best technology, the best coaches, and we share them with you. That way you'll enjoy and become more successful in the industry. So we're going to skip next week. We're going to take a break. Just like you said, Rachel, we got to take care of
Good.
ourselves.
Already implementing, you know?
Right. Yeah, take that time and prepare your systems so you don't have to be so reactive and everything. So,
Shout out to Joe Wilson too. Love social coach.
isn't he awesome?
You
Speaking of
can't
good
get better
people.
than Joe. Yes.
Good people, good people.
Heart of gold.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that, Sonia. Sonia's awesome. She helps me. She does everything for us regarding, Momentum Builder and marketing and everything. I'm going to share one thing too. You want to have some fun, because a lot of us, you both read books, right? Or listen to books. I'm an Audible guy because I just listen when I go to the gym. So it's easy. I can go through books all the time. So, but you want a fun book that'll make you think a little outside the box, because we have to try to make our industry fun right now. It's a grind right now, even for our clients, because remember, they feel they're overpaying for the home and overpaying for the interest rate. Therefore, they're really not having fun, despite them wanting to. And homeownership should be fun. This guy made it fun, and it's a fun book. It's called Fans First by Jesse Cole, and you probably know who he is, but he owns the Savannah Bananas. Now, is the most well-known team in the world. And it's a minor league team that he took over and turned it into a show. He turned it into an event. He turned it into an experience, because he's like, baseball's boring. Let's make it not boring. And now it was really fun book. That's why I'm sharing it, because it'll enlighten you, and it's kind of fun to listen to and not go, I should be doing my structured this. I should be meditating. I should be doing, oh yeah, I know. I hear it all the time. It's fun. The guy's a hoot, and it'll make you think outside the box some and everything. So just wanted to share that with you two, and share with our listeners and stuff. So anything else we got to share, Sonia?
Nope, we went over next week, the week after. Download the app, join the Facebook group. That's all I got.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
well, thank you everyone for being part of our call. We love you. And give us ideas of who you'd like to be on the call, who we need to listen to. All this stuff is on our app. And you guys should check it. Our app has all kinds of great info on it and stuff.
Love it.
So thank you both for being friends of Momentum Builder, and Gino and I, and Sonia and Sasha. And we look forward to having you back and seeing your success. Rachel, continue to share your success. We want to see it. It's good stuff to share. And to end with what Candice said, we need to stick together. I know our best practices with our team has been, now we do weekly calls and sharing best practices together, so we're not alone, and we're sharing what's working, what's not working, how to get through this market. I suggest we all do that together, at least the good guys. All right, everyone. Thank you again.
Thanks, Don.
See you in 2 weeks. Enjoy your 4th of July. Thanks, Candice. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sonia.